good stage combat is like anything else in a play or in a musical, whether it be dance, book, music. It's about telling the story. And so in my mind, when I first started looking at Camelot and looking through it, I said, you know, there's a wonderful opportunity to help tell the story on a greater level, because some of the songs says, oh, they fight, or the stage directions say they fight off stage, but you don't get to really see it. And I think important in the second act is to actually see Camelot sort of fall apart at its seams. And part of that is that internal conflict and the violence that does rear its ugly head there at the end of the play. So I said, you know, we're going to have to buy swords to be on show anyway, so let's go ahead and put the combat on stage. And what I'm finding is it really is helping to tell the story and make clear what people are after in the show. It gives a greater dimension to Lancelot's character, because now for the first time I think we actually do get to see his strength and his abilities as a knight, but then we also get to see the different alliances and the differences between those knights that are struggling so hard to all be equals around this round table, when in reality, deep down inside, there's still all the envy and the jealousy and everything else that we associate with the competition of who's the best knight. And for me, the combat is all about helping to tell that story and to bring the audience a little bit further into the world of the play. And, you know, on a personal level, it's fun to do. It's really fun to do, and it looks cool. So, you know, all of those factors, it's like, there are more reasons to do it than there are reasons not to do it. It comes down to a lot of philosophy that you have with theater. Is there's really nothing that says in the script that the knights must be male, number one. And it comes down to, you know, numbers and just the desire to have that different look and that different feel there, because there's something fundamentally different about the way a woman will handle a sword and move and fight with it. That's really beautiful. In my experience, I have found that women tend to take very naturally to stage combat, especially stage combat with swords and rapiers and things like that. There's a natural affinity to it, in my experience. And so when we started getting into Camelot, you need so many men to do this show that it's kind of iffy as to whether or not you're going to get those numbers. And we turned out we were close, but the woman that I actually did cast as a knight, she took Jen Roberto. She took my stage combat workshop before casting. And she was just a natural. She picked it up very quickly, and so I said, not only do I have the opportunity to have a female knight here, I made her the fight captain. So she actually is learning all of the choreography and actually is the one overseeing the men when they're practicing their fighting and all of that kind of stuff. And so, you know, that's the external reasons for doing it. But then internally within the script, you have the story of Camelot, this ideal world where, you know, everything is supposedly perfect and people are equal. Well, why not take that opportunity to make that statement of saying, well, they're all equal, including the difference between male and female. And so, you know, you practice colorblind casting when possible. Obviously, you know, there are some plays where colorblind casting won't work. You cannot cast a show like Driving Miss Daisy and make Hoke anything but an African American. Yet in Camelot, you have the opportunity to do whatever you want. And in the same light, you want to try to practice gender-blind casting when possible as well. If the script doesn't necessarily signify that it must be male or female, you got to have the courage as a director, I think, sometimes to play with those preconceived notions, push those buttons. Maybe stretch what the audience is willing to attempt or to believe in. And it's not the first time I've done it here. Obviously, anyone who saw Mockingbird knows that I cast a little girl as Dill. Now, in the show, we still played it as a boy, but she was the absolute best actor for that role who came into audition, male and female combined. So you take and you go, all right, it was great. And Jen was absolutely the best person with a sword that I saw. And so I needed that reliable person that could be the fight captain, that could learn the skills, learn the fights, and help assist everybody else and take a bit of the load off of me. So it was an ideal situation. Things just sort of came together.
I was a little surprised. I wasn't sure at first how it was going to be played, if they were going to have me playing it as a man, as a male knight, or as a woman who was a knight. So that was a little confusing at first, but yeah, I was surprised, but it was very exciting too. I was really thrilled to be able to do something so completely different from everything I've done before. So it's been a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun with it. they don't quite know what to do with me when it comes to choreography, and in some of the songs what to do with the singing, because I end up having to sing in Fie on Goodness, for instance. I'm singing a man's part. I'm trying to sing it in my range and my key, so it's been a little bit challenging, a little bit nerve-wracking at times, trying to figure out how I'm gonna sing something, how I'm gonna do something a little bit differently, and make it comfortable for me too, because I can't strain my voice or anything. But it's been a lot of fun. I feel like I'm fitting in okay with the guys, and it's definitely a stretch for me.